Welcome to Frontline Brief, your source for clear and fast updates on global conflicts and geopolitical tensions. Today, we're breaking down the growing crisis involving the United States, Israel, and Iran. From rising military tensions to major strategic decisions by world leaders, this conflict is shaping the future of the Middle East and could impact the entire world. In the next few minutes, we'll explain how this situation started and what it could mean going forward. Breaking news from the Middle East. A major conflict is unfolding between the United States, Israel, and Iran. Airstrikes, missile attacks, and rising global tensions have pushed the region toward one of the most dangerous crises in recent years. But how did this war start, and what could happen next? Background of the conflict. The tensions between Iran, Israel, and the United States have been building for decades. Iran and Israel have long been regional rivals. Israel believes Iran's nuclear program and missile development pose a serious threat to its security. The United States, which is a close ally of Israel, has also accused Iran of supporting armed groups and expanding its military influence across the Middle East. Because of these tensions, the relationship between these three countries has often been hostile, with sanctions, cyber attacks, and proxy conflicts taking place for years. Leaders of the three countries. Three key leaders are central to this crisis. The President of the United States is Donald Trump, who ordered military strikes aimed at weakening Iran's missile and nuclear capabilities. The Prime Minister of Israel is Benjamin Netanyahu, who has repeatedly warned that Iran's nuclear program represents an existential threat to Israel. The President of Iran is Masoud Pezeshkian, who has condemned the attacks and said Iran will defend itself against foreign aggression. Iran's former supreme leader Ali Khamenei was killed during the early phase of the strikes in 2026, which created a major leadership crisis inside Iran. How the war started. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched a coordinated military operation targeting Iranian missile bases, nuclear-related facilities, and military infrastructure. The operation involved hundreds of aircraft and missiles hitting targets in multiple Iranian cities, including Tehran and Isfahan. According to officials, the goal of the operation was to destroy Iran's ballistic missile capabilities and stop the country from developing nuclear weapons. Iran's response. Iran responded quickly with missile and drone attacks aimed at Israeli territory and U.S. military bases across the Middle East. These retaliatory strikes spread the conflict across several countries and raised fears that the war could expand into a wider regional conflict. The fighting has also involved Iranian-aligned groups in the region, further increasing tensions. Why the world is concerned. This conflict could have major global consequences. The Middle East is home to some of the world's most important oil routes, especially the Strait of Hormuz, where a large portion of global oil shipments passes. If the war escalates further, it could disrupt global energy markets, increase oil prices, and draw more countries into the conflict. War results for the United States. Stronger military presence in the Middle East with more forces deployed to protect bases and allies. Increased tensions with Iran, making diplomacy more difficult. Higher military spending and global security concerns. Risk of being drawn into a larger regional war if the conflict escalates. War results for Israel. Some Iranian military and missile facilities damaged, which Israel views as reducing immediate threats. However, Israel now faces retaliatory missile and drone attacks from Iran and allied groups. Increased security alerts and military readiness across the country. Continued regional instability around Israel's borders. War results for Iran. Damage to military bases and infrastructure due to airstrikes, strong political and military response against the U.S. and Israel, increased economic pressure and sanctions, growing tensions with Western countries, global impact. The conflict has also affected the world. Rising oil price concerns because of tensions near the Strait of Hormuz, increased fear of a larger Middle East war, more diplomatic pressure from international organizations like the United Nations to prevent escalation. So the big question now is, will diplomacy stop the conflict, or could the confrontation between the United States, Israel, and Iran turn into a much larger war? For clear explanations of global conflicts and geopolitics, subscribe to Frontline Brief.